Hello, and welcome to the Passion on Purpose Leaders on Center Stage podcast. I am Steph, and I'm the owner and creative director at VIM. VIM's mission is to showcase the enthusiasm and passion of business leaders nationwide. I cannot wait to have you listen to the show and stick around. At the end, we talk a little bit about how you can be my next guest. All right. Today we have Kim Becker with Hello Gorgeous. Kim, thank you again so much for joining me. I'm so excited. I'm going to go ahead and just throw it to you and let you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about what you do through Hello Gorgeous.
Well, thank you so much for having me. As I said to you off air, I'm excited anytime I get the opportunity to share my story. So I appreciate the opportunity to be able to share this with your listeners. So thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you.
So yes, Hello Gorgeous is a nonprofit organization. Our goal is to restore the beauty that cancer steals. The ultimate goal is to make sure that women with cancer can smile when they look in the mirror. So what I said, it's the doctor's job to treat her cancer, but it's my job to make sure that she looks really good while she's going through it. And you find that you just don't know what you don't know. So women that are diagnosed with cancer don't understand the effects of her cancer treatment, and they don't know how to counteract those effects of the cancer treatment. If they lose their hair, if their eyebrows fall out, if they lose their eyelashes, all of those things that make us feel girly, cancer and cancer treatment can take away. We want to show these women how to replace those, again, to ultimately let her smile when she looks in the mirror.
Oh my goodness, I love that. To take this endeavor on, to make this your business, right? There's got to be some underlying important passion to why you do what you do. Do you know your why? Like, what is your why? How do you verbalize that to people who want to work with you?
It's so can I back it up and tell you the story?
Absolutely.
And then the why kind of comes out of that. Okay.
Yes.
So I was a hairdresser for 30 years. When I got out of beauty school, I actually went to beauty school to go to law school. I know it doesn't make any sense, but I wanted to be an attorney. And back when I went to school, there was no 529 plan or college savings funds or anything like that. And so my parents were like, look, if you want to go to college and go to law school, you're on your own. So I started working at a tanning hair salon, and the girls were like, oh my gosh, you should go to beauty school and actually get your hairdresser's license, because then while you're in college, you could be cutting hair of everybody on the dorm floor. And then that's how you could pay through, for law school. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a great idea. So I went to beauty school and never made it to law school. So I loved cutting hair. I love the interaction with the clients. My dream was always to open a salon. And my late husband knew that was my dream. And so we would talk about the salon all the time. And he would say to me, I have the perfect name for the salon. We should call it Hello Gorgeous. And I said, that's the stupidest name I've ever heard. I said, we're not going to call it Hello Gorgeous. He said, no, it'll be great, because every time you answer the phone, you get to say, hello, gorgeous. And it'll make people smile on the other end. I said, it's stupid. We're not doing it. I had traveled for a natural nail care company, had visited a salon in Southern Illinois, and it had a very French flair to it. And they served like champagne and cheesecake to all of their clients. And the name of the salon was Chavou. And I'm like, I know that when I open a salon, that's the name of the salon. It's so your idea sucks, because this is what we're doing. And so we did. So we opened a salon, and it was called Chavou Professional Hair Design, owned it for 10 years. We went from 2 stations in 1,000 square feet to 17 station and 3,000 square feet. Wow. And we had massage therapists and receptionists and the whole 9 yards. And I loved it. You talk about the afternoon buzz, 3:00 in the afternoon, all the chairs were filled. Yeah. There was just such an energy there. It was amazing, but there was something that was missing, and I didn't know what it was. And so every year after the new year, we would actually remodel the salon, and that didn't fill that void. And then when we moved, I thought we needed it bigger. That didn't fill that void. Then I started working on me. So I started training at all these places like Hair Color USA in Miami. And I went to the Pivot Point in Chicago. And I actually went to Vidal Sassoon in London, and I trained there. Oh, and wow. I thought that's got to be it. But nothing filled that void. And so Mike and I were on a road trip back from Indianapolis, about 3 hours south of our home. And I was talking to him about that. I know there's something more that's out there. I know there's something more we should be doing. I just know there's more, but I didn't know what it was. And all of a sudden it fell on my heart. And I looked at him and I said, I know what we need to do. I said, we need to have a mobile day spa that caters to cancer patients. We need to have this beautiful, elegant palace on wheels that will pull up just a few feet from her home and make her feel like a queen for a day during a time where she doesn't feel very special. Now, if any of your listeners are business owners, people have a misconceived notion about people that own businesses. And so they think that you own your own business and you take that $5,000 that you make in the day and you put it in your pocket and you live this very lavish lifestyle. And that can't be further from the truth.
Right.
For us, every time we got a little money set back, the furnace would go out or the water heater would stop working. There was something that happened. So I'm pitching this idea to Mike the whole time. And he is like all in. He's like, whatever, just to get me out of the salon, until I looked at him and I said, you know what? We're going to do this for free. And I watched all the color run out of his face. And he said, how are we going to do this? And I said, I don't know. I just know this is what we're supposed to do. So him being the supportive husband that he was, he stopped at a Books A Million in Kokomo, Indiana, and bought me every book he could find. Free money for women, grant writing for dummies, grant writing for women, all the things that get back in the car. We keep moving. And I love being able to talk to him in the car because he couldn't escape. So I kept rolling this out and telling him I thought this is what we were supposed to do, all the things. And he just didn't want to. I saw his ears slam shut. He couldn't figure out how we could do this. So our son was 3 years old at the time. And he was asleep in the backseat of the car. We got about 30 minutes from home. And Seth woke up from his nap. And so we decided to get out of the car and let him run around a little bit. And we were getting ready to walk into this play area. And as we were walking in there, now 10 years had lapsed from the time we opened the salon to this moment right here. And we were walking into this McDonald's play area, and I grabbed a hold of Mike's arm and I said, you know what, Mike, this is supposed to be called Hello Gorgeous. I said, the salon was never meant to be called Hello Gorgeous. This is supposed to be called Hello Gorgeous because that's how these women deserve to be greeted.
Yes.
So for about the first 6 months or so, he didn't want anything to do with it at all. And I every time I'd bring the subject up, he'd change the subject. And I would say to him, so for me, this is a calling. I truly believe this is something that God said, would you do this? And I said, okay. Because there's no way, I truly believe that God equips the called. He doesn't call the equipped.
Oh, I love that quote.
So yes. I am a hairdresser. My late husband graduated from Purdue University with a degree in pre-Columbian archaeology.
Okay.
God should have chosen 2 marketing majors from Harvard. Not a hairdresser and an archaeologist, but that's why the story is so amazing. And so he, after about 6 months, then he decided I wasn't going to let it go. And so he was all in. And I have to tell you that this was his life's mission. He absolutely positively loved Hello Gorgeous. He was sick for about 20 years. You couldn't tell by looking at him. But every time he'd be hospitalized and he himself would be in the hospital bed, he always answered the phone. Hello, Gorgeous. This is Mike. How can I help you?
Oh.
And he just, the women and the makeovers and the transformations that we saw, that's my why. And we, we lived, eat, and breathed Hello Gorgeous. To the point where when he passed away and I designed his headstone, I actually put the Hello Gorgeous logo on his headstone because I wanted people in a place where they don't normally smile to still read those words and smile because that's what he always wanted. So it's those. And I remember like in the beginning when I first thought about this, I'm like, really, God, this is what you gave me? Like, I'm so sorry you have cancer. Let me paint your fingernails. It is so much more than that.
Yeah.
It is so, I'm telling you, what I have said is that I think everybody has a light inside of them. And that when someone hears the word, you have cancer, that light turns off. And all of a sudden, through the Hello Gorgeous program and the makeovers that we're able to do, that light gets flipped back on. And I watch it happen every single time. And it's something that happens from the inside out. It's not the makeover. It's not the makeup. It's not the wig. There's something that comes alive inside of her. And all of a sudden that light beams bright again. That's my why. That's my why.
I love that.
That's my why.
And that's been your why for a long time, right? Whether it's cancer patients or the men and women behind the chair for
That's
years.
Right. That's right.
But you were, right, I talk about a lot, the vehicle of your why. So for many years, your vehicle was hair and it was fulfilling because you were lighting people up.
Yes.
But there was this depth, this other vehicle that had yet to come to life, and this other vehicle happened to come in the form of a real vehicle, willing
That's
for
right.
women to light them up.
That's right.
I
That's
love
right.
it. What I love about that too is, a why, the vehicle can change, but your why, that depth. I joke a lot about, this pizza company, and their why is to serve people. And if pizza were banned, that's okay, because their why is to serve people, not to serve pizza.
That's right.
And right. And so your why, to light people up, you have so much depth with the vehicles you can go with. I just love that.
That's right. It's
That's
awesome.
beautiful.
Well, and and for a long time too, I didn't understand, once after I had received this call on my life, I still had to work in the salon. And I remember saying to God all the time, why am I still here? Why did I have to go through this? Why did I have to open the salon? Why was that a part of it? Why couldn't I have done this? But what was really great was I got it. And if we wait long enough, the answer is revealed. You ask the right questions, you'll get the right answers.
Yeah.
And so we did get the mobile day spa. And we were able to do it, but there's no way that just with one mobile day spa that we could actually get to all the women that needed to be served. So we actually created a salon affiliate program where we went in and trained salons how to create the Hello Gorgeous experience, because I learned that I was not taught how to care for a woman battling cancer while I was in beauty school.
Right.
And there are a lot of doctors and nurses that tell these women, don't have a pedicure, don't have a manicure, don't get a facial. That's what these women need to feel pampered.
Mm-hmm.
So I delved into that. Why are you telling these women that they shouldn't have this done? And it came down to safety, that they weren't sure that they could keep them safe, that there weren't any protocols in place to really take into consideration her compromised immune system. So I developed that program. And so what happened was I developed a program then that I could go in and take to salons to be able to say, look, here's what we've got. I'm going to train you. And in exchange, I want you to commit to doing one makeover a month on women battling cancer in your community. So now you become the face of Hello Gorgeous. You get to make that impact. And what was really cool was I got to watch them feel the same way that I got to feel when we did these makeovers. But when I circled back around, that's why I had to own the salon, because I developed a program that was appealing to a salon owner, because I knew what the salon owners needed. Because I walked in their shoes. I was able to say I was there. I created a program that if somebody came into me as a salon owner and said, would you be willing to participate in this? Yeah, I would. So it was wonderful. And then to be able to go in and have the credibility to say, yep, I know what you're going through. Yep, I understand the staffing challenges. Yep, I understand the whole retail thing. I get all of that because I was there too. It made all the difference in the world.
Yeah, it'd be one thing if you didn't have that experience and you're saying, hey, do this free thing, right? Your business, just start doing this free thing for these very important women. Okay, well, that sounds fine and dandy, but you don't know what I have to do, but you do, right? So I love how much they trusted you in that. And the fact that you are able to have the introspection to be able to look at, this was why I was here for this period of time, to get me to not just start Hello Gorgeous, but to let Hello Gorgeous have bigger wings and to have that wildfire spread. So how does Hello Gorgeous work most now, as far as like, are you still doing the mobile in your own town? How many salons do you have working through Hello Gorgeous? I just kind of want to know the scope of where you're at now.
So before COVID, things are different now. Before COVID, we had 33 affiliates in 15 states.
Wow.
And those affiliates were doing makeovers once a month. My goal is to actually put two affiliate salons in every city of the United States. Now, there are 19,355 cities in the United States. So that's about 40,000 affiliates. But I thought we would be able to help 500,000 women a year if each one of those affiliates did one makeover a month. That's what I want to be able to do. So we were cooking with gas. Our program, the affiliate program, has been in existence for 12 years. And so we've had many successes with that. But as everybody experienced, COVID came. and
Yeah.
then it shut things down. And
Yep.
the salon stopped working. And then there was all the fear that surrounded COVID. And now you're dealing with a woman with a compromised immune system. And what are you exposing her to?
Yeah.
So just now in the last couple of months, some of our affiliates have started to come around. However, we've lost several affiliates because they changed the way they do business.
Yeah.
Some of the things that we used to do, we can't do anymore. And so they had to work more on their business. And this was just kind of a byproduct of it. And they just didn't have the time. So we're in a rebuilding process. However, for us, what came out of COVID was what I realized. And that was just because we were in the middle of a pandemic didn't mean that cancer went away.
Right.
It took a back seat, but there were still women in the middle of the pandemic being diagnosed with cancer.
Absolutely.
So we had to find a way to continue to serve them. So we worked with a group. And again, just to be clear, had COVID not happened, I would have never, ever, ever agreed to this, ever. If you ever meet me in person, the first thing I'm going to do is give you a big hug because that's who I am. I'm all about the in-person. I got to wrap my arms around you, all those things. And so if somebody would have come to me with a virtual option for Hello Gorgeous, I would have said, absolutely not.
Right.
Absolutely not. So we worked with a group of kids from the University of Notre Dame, and I was working on an online membership. And I said, I want to make this as much of an experience for the women as what our in-person makeovers are. And they planted a seed, and we started doing virtual makeovers in the middle of COVID.
Oh,
So
wow.
it was now, instead of us doing it for her, we actually sent her a box of product that was valued at about $450, I think. And then I created a tutorial, a how-to video. Here's everything that's in the box, and this is how you use it. This is how you draw your eyebrows on. This is how you counteract the effects of the steroids. This is how you take care of your nails. This is the right way to put your wig on. This is how you shampoo your wig. All of those things. And she could do it in the comfort of her own home.
Oh,
And so because of that, we just added another layer to Hello Gorgeous. So again, had you come to me when everything was in full swing, I said, absolutely not. But when that's the only option, you do what you have to do. And a couple of months ago, we were able to send a virtual makeover box to Canada and Alaska. And I don't have affiliates in those states and in that country. So we were still able to help women, even though we didn't have a physical presence there. That's what made it all worthwhile.
Well, and if we were to find our blessing in what we've all gone through with that, with the pandemic, for you to be able to establish this whole program, it would have been hard if both were running at the same time.
Very true.
This forced pause of this other in-person element of your business gave you the bandwidth even to allow that to set aside, right? Because you would if it was still running, you'd be like, nope, I got to get more affiliates. Nope, we got to get right. But the bandwidth availability to create this, and now that things are getting a little bit more normalized, cross our fingers.
Yes.
Let's keep it.
Yes.
Now you can get them both running and imagine that wildfire spread that you're going to keep having.
Yes. And you are exactly right. And I would say that several times. So my younger sister, there's 12 years difference between the two of us. She's my director of operations. And when we were trying to figure out how to do the virtual makeover program, I'd said to her several times, I'm so glad the affiliate program isn't up and running right now, because there's a lot to that. You're packing boxes, you're shipping stuff, all the things. And I don't know that we could have, because right now there's just a couple of us in the office. I'm not sure that we could have been able to handle all of that, but you're exactly right. Because one was on pause. We were able to do that. Now they can run parallel to each other. And we've got more options to be able to help women with cancer. Just to give you an idea, I just did some study and looked up statistics. In 2021, 920,000 women in the United States were diagnosed with cancer.
Wow.
And that didn't include the women that were diagnosed before that continue to go through treatment. Now, in the UK, yes. Now, in the UK, they're actually preparing for a large onset of late stage cancer diagnosis.
Oh.
Because of COVID. Because people either couldn't get treatment or they put things off. So things that could have been caught in the early stages and treated. Yes. And so I don't know if those numbers are reflecting that. All I know is cancer's not going away. So I've already made up my mind. I'll never retire. I will never retire. I will do this until I cannot do this anymore, because I need to make sure that these women have the resources that they need.
I love that. And when I think about, there's not just businesses, brands, just for all, but there's a lot of corporations, organizations, businesses that do offer cancer support, right? How, and the ones that really stand out and that really thrive are the ones that do lead with passion and lead with their why. Um, how have you put your why and this story and your passion at the forefront of your branding and your marketing so that people recognize your point of difference? Like, how have you done that so well to have grown to the point that you're at now and to continue to grow?
I think it's just that you put yourself out there, and what I had to come up with, people deal with, we self-sabotage, right? We don't have the confidence. It's all those things. When you start to realize that it's not about you, that's when all of that can go to the forefront, because it's not about me. It's
Yeah.
about me telling my story. But the more that I tell my story, the more women I get to help, right? So what I keep in the forefront are the women that need the help that I have. So going to hair shows and being able to talk to salon owners and stylists and manufacturers and distributors, and having that courage to be able to step up and say, this is who I am and this is what I do and I need your help. That has been the hardest thing for me, right? I come to this at a different point because I owned a business in the profit sector. And then
Mhm.
I sold it and started a business in the nonprofit sector.
Right.
And so all I have is my story to sell. In the beginning, when I had the salon and I owned the salon, if money got a little tight, I could run a retail sale. And I
Right.
could say, Kim's in a bad mood. All the retail's 20% off to, really move the product. I could do an extra haircut. I could take a
Right.
couple extra throw some extra highlights in. I could do those things. In the nonprofit world, I can't reach into your pockets and make you give me money.
Right.
So I have to figure out somehow to touch, move, and inspire you to take action. And
Mhm.
all I have to sell is my story and the story of the women that I get to serve. And so keeping that in the forefront, I think that when you see that and when you see the faces, what I miss most about not having the affiliate program are all the before and after pictures. That's my juice.
Yeah.
When you see that transformation of this woman that walked in and she looked sickly and had a bag in case she was going to throw up, and you see that 2.5 hours later and her shoulders are back and the smile goes from ear to ear and she's walking in front of the salon as if she was on a catwalk in New York City, that's my why. That's the fuel. That's what keeps everything in the forefront, because every single woman with cancer deserves to feel that way right there.
I love that. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that. If my audience that's listening and they're touched, they're moved, they want to support, they want to, learn more about you, what can they, what sort of offers or what sort of actions can they take to be a part of Hello Gorgeous?
Well, so we've got several things. Our website is awesome. We've got this great webmaster who just takes really good care of us. So the website is hellogorgeous.org. And we actually there's a page that's free resources. So anybody that that's battling cancer, if you direct them there's all kinds of tutorial videos, there's blogs. I have a podcast as well. So there's episodes of the podcast that are on there. So that's a great place to start. We actually have a freebie. And so what I love to be able to do is when I talk to women battling cancer and I find out where they're at in their journey, I always ask them the same question. And that is, what's the one thing that you know now that you wished you would have known at the beginning of your journey? And I took those 12 things and created a video about the 12 things that you really need to know before you start your cancer journey. And
Uh,
so if they go to Hello Gorgeous /free, then they'll be able to get that video and then watch it or, pass it on to whoever would need it. And the last thing that we need is just financial support. I want to be able to give all of these things away for free.
mhm.
These women have paid enough.
Yeah.
And so either we get to give it away for free or a really reduced rate. And so the only way that I can keep doing what I'm doing is for other people to help and fund the mission so that I can continue to get to, my goal would be to get to all of those 900,000 women that I've been able to touch them in some way. And they don't know what they don't know. And
Yeah.
so I can't help the women that don't know I exist. And
Right.
so the more money that we have coming in, I went to a mastermind group once And there were a couple of guys there that were amazing. They gave up their career in oil to do wreaths. And it was awesome. And they're making 7 figures right now. And they said, it's not about the money. It's just easier when you have the money.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, that's what I need to be able to do. I want to make it easier on all these women that are battling cancer. And I can't do that without financial support. And so on our website, there's a big thing with a donate button. And I would love to be able to have their support.
Perfect. Well, I'll make sure in the show notes, if you're watching or listening, that we have Hello Gorgeous's website, so you guys can go and click that. Kim, thank you so much for being on the show and sharing your story and just simply doing what you do. I can't thank you enough for coming on.
Oh, well, thank you so much for having me. And as I said, I'm grateful to be able to share my mission with anybody who will listen. So thank you.
Likewise. Steph here. Thank you so much for listening to the Passion on Purpose Leaders on Center Stage podcast. If you are a successful business owner and you lead your business with passion, we'd love to feature you on our show. We'd love to share with the world what makes your business great and how you have intentionally led passion throughout your business. Also, if you got any value or little tidbits from this episode, please take a minute to screenshot the episode and share it on your favorite social media platform. Be sure to tag us so we can properly thank you, and we love deepening our connection with our listeners. We are regularly putting out new episodes to feature leaders such as yourself who lead with passion on purpose. So be sure to subscribe to our show so you don't miss any future episodes. For more episodes, guest information, or details on the show, please visit getvim.com/passion on purpose. That's getvim.com/passion on purpose. Once again, I'm Steph. I am the owner and creative director at Vim, and thank you for listening to the show.